Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we cut through the noise to bring you the essential insights on topics that are genuinely shaping our world.
hmm
Today, we're plunging into something that has utterly transformed our digital landscape in what feels like, well, the blink of an eye.
We're talking about ChatGPT, a name that's become almost synonymous with large language models
Right.
and its profound, multifaceted role in digital transformation. Our deep dive today is built on a comprehensive narrative review published just last month, June 2025.
Okay, very recent then.
Yeah, it meticulously dissects ChatGPT's evolving impact and societal implications
Mm-hmm.
across three really critical domains:
Mm-hmm.
healthcare, education, and the economy.
Our mission for this deep dive is simple. We want to shortcut you to being truly well-informed.
Yeah.
We want you to grasp not just ChatGPT's remarkable capabilities and sometimes surprising applications, but also its very real limitations. The ethical tightropes it forces us to walk, and crucially, what all of this means for you in the grander scheme. We're going to try and extract those powerful nuggets of knowledge so you can understand what's truly happening beneath the surface of this AI revolution.
Let's do it.
So let's kick this off with its incredible journey. ChatGPT launched, late 2022?
That's right.
And by some reports, it rocketed past 100 million users in just 2 months.
Yeah, it was staggering.
That adoption curve rivals some of the biggest digital disruptions we've seen, like the early days of smartphones or social media. What does that kind of speed tell us?
Well, what's truly striking isn't just the sheer numbers, though they are impressive. It's how seamlessly accessible and integrated it became.
Oh, so?
It's available through simple web interfaces, mobile apps, browser extensions, and APIs, which are basically, software connectors letting programs talk to each other.
Right.
This has enabled deployment into incredibly diverse real-world workflows. Think about its integration into electronic health record systems like Epic, into learning management systems, such as Moodle and Canvas, and even familiar business tools like Microsoft Excel or Notion. It just kind of slid right in.
And public curiosity definitely followed. I remember seeing that huge spike in Google Trends data for ChatGPT around September 2024. What specific moment or revelation ignited that particular surge?
That surge directly coincided with OpenAI's developer conference.
Okay.
They unveiled new multimodal features in GPT-4, allowing it to understand and generate content not just from text, but also from voice, images, and even vision. Big step up.
Right. That makes sense.
Plus, this period also overlapped with the return to school and, Q4 planning in many industries.
So not just hype.
No, it's a clear signal that ChatGPT isn't just a novelty. It's becoming deeply embedded in our academic and economic cycles.
So it's moved beyond just pilot projects to widespread, systemic experimentation across hospitals, universities, businesses.
Exactly.
And it's not the only player on the field, is it? I hear about others all the time.
Oh, far from it. We're definitely in the midst of a war of the chatbots, as some call it.
Right.
You've got significant rivals like Google Gemini, Meta's Llama, Anthropic's Claude, and China's DeepSeek, all vying for market share.
Oh, competition's heating up.
Massively.
Yeah.
And this intense competition is a huge driver for rapid innovation, pushing developers to constantly enhance safety, responsiveness, capabilities.
But ChatGPT still feels central.
It does, yeah. Partly thanks to its early mover advantage and those widespread integrations we mentioned. This isn't just about popularity metrics, though. It's really signaling shifting digital norms. For you, and for all of us, the crucial question now becomes, how is it actually being applied across these key sectors?
That's where it gets really compelling. The review we're looking at zeroes in on three crucial sectors.
Yeah.
Healthcare, education, and the economy.
Right.
Precisely because of their societal relevance and the critical infrastructure they represent. Let's dive into what that looks like on the ground. Start with healthcare.
Sure. In healthcare, ChatGPT is rapidly being adopted as a kind of digital assistant.
Okay.
Early uses include things like automated triage tools, virtual medical chatbots, and even some mental health companions.
Interesting.
But what's really disruptive is how hospital systems, particularly those using Epic, have piloted it to help clinicians summarize complex notes.
That must save time.
Huge amounts of time. Plus answering routine patient questions, generating discharge instructions. And its language simplification capabilities are particularly impactful.
How so?
Well, translating complex medical terminology into patient-friendly explanations, that can significantly bridge health literacy gaps. you know?
Yeah, that's huge.
It's not just about efficiency, but really about redefining the clinician's workflow and how they communicate with patients.
And in education, well, it's certainly triggered widespread experimentation, but also a lot of heated debate,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. A real mix.
Beyond just using it as a fancy search engine, what's one truly maybe surprising way educators are exploring how learning happens with this tool?
Well, beyond the obvious uses like, a tutoring agent or feedback generator,
Yeah.
the more surprising explorations involve it as a dynamic lesson planner or even a brainstorming partner for teachers themselves.
Ah, okay. For the educators, too.
Yeah. Its integration into learning management systems like Moodle and Canvas allows for adaptive, dynamic question answering, automated essay scoring sometimes,
Wow.
and interactive content creation tailored to individual student needs. This spans all levels: early childhood, higher ed, special education.
And academic writing, that seems like a minefield.
It is. It clarifies research concepts, proposes outlines, edits grammar, forcing institutions to rethink, what originality and authorship even mean now.
So are they banning it
No.
or embracing it?
It's fascinating because while some institutions have outright banned it, others are actively building curricula around AI literacy, seeing it as an essential skill for the future.
It sounds as a real dilemma for educators. Is that ban approach ever truly effective, do you think? Or does it just push usage underground?
That's the big question, isn't it? Does it prevent students from learning how to engage responsibly?
Yeah.
A tough balance.
Okay. What about in the economy? How's it showing up there?
In the economic domain, ChatGPT is largely viewed as a significant, low-cost productivity enhancer.
Productivity, okay.
Businesses of all sizes are leveraging it, generating marketing content, summarizing lengthy reports, drafting emails, analyzing customer feedback, automating countless repetitive white-collar tasks.
So the routine stuff.
A lot of the routine stuff, yeah. Freelancers and small enterprises are using it to write entire business plans, pitch decks, even job descriptions.
Really? Replacing professional services?
Sometimes reducing the need, or sometimes replacing it outright for certain tasks. Larger firms are integrating it in more sophisticated systems, business intelligence, forecasting, customer service automation.
Being promises there.
Huge promises, yeah.
Oh.
Gains in speed, cost efficiency. It promises a fundamental reshaping of how work gets done and, well, at what cost.
These applications certainly paint a picture of efficiency and progress, but as with any transformative tech, there's always a flip side, isn't there?
Always.
The review meticulously unpacks the often unseen ethical maze and the very real limitations that come with this rapid adoption. What's the core challenge here, fundamentally?
I'd say the core challenge boils down to trust and reliability.
Okay.
In healthcare, for example, the potential for hallucinations. That's where the system generates plausible but factually incorrect statements is particularly hazardous.
Right, hallucinations. I've heard that term.
Imagine getting inaccurate information about treatments or diagnoses. I mean, it can have life-threatening consequences.
Absolutely terrifying.
And then there are serious concerns about algorithmic bias. Could it lead to less accurate diagnostic suggestions for underrepresented populations?
That's a huge risk.
Plus privacy vulnerabilities. Think about regulations like PIHE in the U.S.
Right, health data privacy.
and GDPR in Europe. What happens if sensitive patient data are unknowingly disclosed during its use?
It's unsettling to think about medical misinformation generated so convincingly. Does this risk of hallucinations manifest differently in education? Especially when students might not have the baseline knowledge to spot a fabrication.
Oh, absolutely. It's maybe more subtle, but just as pervasive.
How so?
Well, in education, the ease with which ChatGPT can generate essays directly challenges traditional assessment models. That's obvious.
Yeah, the cheating aspect.
Right. Potential academic dishonesty, maybe eroding students' critical thinking skills if they rely on it too much. But the hallucinations pose this insidious risk precisely because students might lack the foundational knowledge to distinguish fact from fabrication. The AI sounds so confident.
Right. It does. Very authoritative.
Exactly. And critically, access remains uneven. This could really exacerbate pre-existing educational inequalities if under-resourced institutions just can't keep up with integrating these tools effectively.
Leaving some students further behind.
Potentially, yes.
And in the economy, where the stakes can be financial or reputational, what do the warnings look like there?
Pretty severe. The review flags things like financial hallucinations in forecasting tools,
Ooh.
the risk of confidential data leakage, especially if companies are fine-tuning models with their own data
Right, trade secret.
and just vast regulatory blind spots. We're still figuring out how to govern this
So users might just trust it too much.
easily. Misinterpreting AI outputs as authoritative in high-stakes tasks like financial advising or, say, legal drafting.
Yeah, I can see that.
The proprietary nature of many of these models also complicates data accountability. Where is that sensitive business info actually stored? Could it leak?
Good question.
And of course, the big one. Automation of white-collar tasks raises significant concerns about job displacement and maybe the de-skilling of labor.
Especially for entry-level roles.
Exactly. Those roles where people traditionally use these tasks to build foundational experience. Where do they get that now?
Beyond these sector-specific issues, are there overarching ethical challenges? Things that cut across all domains, no matter where ChatGPT is applied.
Definitely. Privacy and security are paramount right across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Users might share highly sensitive information without truly understanding how their data are stored, retained, or potentially used to train future models.
The fine print nobody reads.
Pretty much. And the persistent issue of hallucinations is universal
It keeps coming up.
because it's crucial. AI outputs sound incredibly convincing, but can contain subtle or even blatant factual errors. This can mislead students, be dangerous in healthcare, be costly in business.
So human oversight is key.
Absolutely critical. It powerfully underscores the ongoing need for human verification and judgment.
And there's another hidden cost that this review brought to light. Isn't there something we don't often think about?
Yes, the environmental footprint.
Right. We've talked data, ethics, but the environment. How significant is this, really?
It's surprisingly significant and often invisible to the user. Running these large language models consumes substantial amounts of energy.
For computation.
Yeah, and critically, vast amounts of water, particularly for cooling the massive server farms that power these models and handle the high volume of requests, the inference calls.
Wow, water usage. I hadn't considered that.
Most people don't. These environmental costs are typically hidden, but they carry serious implications for sustainability and, resource equity on a global scale.
So another layer of complexity.
Definitely. All these issues across sectors, plus privacy, hallucinations, environment time, they highlight the urgent need for comprehensive ethical frameworks and real ongoing interdisciplinary collaboration. We need tech folks, ethicists, policymakers, everyone talking.
This technology isn't just about technical efficiency, then. It's profoundly shaping how we access knowledge, how we interact with institutions, even how we participate in civic life.
Absolutely.
What are the broader societal implications that ripple out from these applications?
Well, in digital health, for instance, while ChatGPT can simplify complex medical language and provides a 247 support for underserved populations.
Which sounds great.
It does. It could bridge health literacy gaps.
Yeah.
But there's a real danger. Users might mistake its fluency for genuine medical expertise,
Leading to?
misdiagnoses, or just misplaced trust in the advice it gives. Societal trust here depends entirely on transparent communication from the tool makers, clear disclaimers, and strong regulatory oversight to ensure it truly complements, not replaces, human clinical judgment.
So for you, the listener, if you're engaging with these tools, especially for health info, that critical thinking filter is more important than ever.
Absolutely essential.
What about the broader impact on digital education, beyond the classroom issues?
It's this fascinating duality, isn't it? Innovation and disruption hand in hand.
Right.
While it can enhance engagement, potentially personalized learning paths, it also presents that tempting shortcut.
Yeah.
One that could undermine the very foundations of critical thinking and original inquiry, if we're not careful.
And the equity gap you mentioned.
Yes, that creates a growing digital equity divide. Wealthier institutions can perhaps invest in robust, guided AI literacy curricula, teach students how to use it well,
Well, others can't.
while under-resourced schools risk being left behind, potentially exacerbating existing educational inequalities. How do we ensure everyone benefits?
A crucial question. And for the digital economy, how is it reshaping work itself beyond just automating tasks?
It's fundamentally redefining what constitutes skilled labor.
How so?
By automating tasks like content generation, translation, customer support, basic data analysis. This undeniably boosts efficiency.
But
But it also raises those pressing concerns about job displacement and what's called task de-skilling.
right, especially for entry-level knowledge workers.
Exactly, the ones who traditionally honed their skills doing those very tasks. And as it gets integrated into more complex areas like financial advising or maybe legal drafting,
Yeah.
errors, those hallucinations again, can lead to severely misinformed decisions. This could potentially undermine trust in entire economic systems if it's not managed carefully.
And the benefits aren't evenly spread.
Likely not. The competitive advantage might be unevenly distributed, probably favoring firms with existing digital expertise and resources to implement it effectively.
When we connect all these threads, all these sectors, to the bigger picture, three cross-cutting societal challenges really seem to stand out in the review. What are they?
Yeah, the review highlights three big ones. The first is trust.
Yeah.
ChatGPT's linguistic sophistication, how well it writes and talks, often masks its inherent limitations.
It sounds smarter than it is.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
It creates what some scholars call the Eliza effect, after that early chatbot.
Vaguely.
Users unconsciously anthropomorphize this system. They assume it understands more than it actually does.
And the danger there.
This illusion of intelligence can lead to poor, sometimes high-stakes decision-making because our natural human tendency to question things gets disarmed.
I see. What's the second challenge?
Equity. It's come up a few times. The benefits are clearly not being evenly distributed.
The digital divide again.
Exactly. Communities with limited internet access, maybe outdated hardware, or just lower digital literacy face significant barriers to using these tools effectively.
So as services move online.
As more essential services digitize and start relying on large language models, the risk of excluding whole segments of society just grows and grows.
And the third challenge, you mentioned it being perhaps the most urgent.
Yes, and that's misinformation.
Right.
ChatGPT's remarkable ability to produce and spread convincing but entirely false information, whether it's, fictitious citations in academic papers or highly persuasive political propaganda. It's a major and, frankly, escalating concern.
Especially online.
Especially when integrated with social media platforms. This capability could dramatically accelerate the erosion of public trust in information systems, maybe at an unprecedented scale.
So how do we even begin to address these huge challenges? Trust, equity, misinformation.
It's not easy. It requires truly multi-stakeholder collaboration. We need regulators developing thoughtful, adaptive policies. We need educators proactively teaching critical AI literacy from a young age. We need developers building in safeguards. Everyone has a role.
As ChatGPT becomes even more deeply embedded, seemingly unavoidable in our daily lives, where does future research need to focus? What are the critical unknowns we need to tackle to guide its responsible development and deployment?
Good question. The review points to several key areas. In digital health, for instance, urgent research is needed on the accuracy of AI-generated recommendations across highly diverse patient populations.
Not just one demographic.
Exactly, and different languages, too. We also need to deeply understand how patients actually experience trust and maybe even emotional support when interacting with health chatbots.
That's fascinating, the human side.
Yeah, and exploring privacy-preserving architectures that can fully comply with complex legal frameworks like HIPAA and GDPR.
Okay. And what about for digital education? Where should researchers be looking there?
Researchers absolutely must examine how ChatGPT is fundamentally changing learning and assessment. We need longitudinal studies.
So long-term tracking.
Yeah, tracking over time to evaluate the real long-term impact of sustained AI access on student outcomes. Things like knowledge retention, critical thinking, and, yes, academic integrity. We also need more research on prompt engineering. That's the skill of crafting effective instructions for AI.
Right, how to ask good questions.
Exactly. And on instructional scaffolding, designing ways to help students learn with AI, using it as a tool rather than just letting it bypass the effort of learning. And again, equity considerations have to remain absolutely central here.
Makes sense. And finally, for the digital economy, what research is needed?
Future research really needs to rigorously quantify ChatGPT's actual productivity impacts across various professional fields. Is it really delivering?
Beyond the anecdotes.
Beyond the anecdotes, yes.
Okay.
We need to assess the reliability and transparency of AI-generated business content. Can you trust the report it wrote? And study how small and medium-sized enterprises, not just the big players, are adopting it and what challenges they face.
And the jobs question.
The broader impact of automation on employment patterns and professional identity is a huge pressing issue. It requires extensive empirical work, real data on patterns of job displacement, but also on upskilling and the emergence of new roles.
So beyond these specific sectors, what are the big overarching research needs that will help us navigate this whole new landscape?
Well, bias mitigation is absolutely critical. We need to rigorously investigate how bias is getting coded into these models in the first place, and then develop effective interventions to counteract them.
Hard problem.
Very hard. Explainability and transparency are also essential, especially in those high-stakes fields where users really need to be able to interrogate the AI's reasoning. Why did it suggest that?
The black box issue.
Exactly. Breaking open the black box, or at least understanding its inputs and outputs better. There's also a growing, urgent need for research on governance and regulation. How do we design effective safeguards and accountability mechanisms for a technology that's evolving this rapidly?
Keeping pace is tough.
Incredibly tough.
Yeah.
And finally, something we touched on, the environmental implications. These absolutely warrant urgent, sustained investigation. We need to understand the true energy and water consumption of these massive models and figure out their long-term sustainability.
This deep dive, it really makes it clear that ChatGPT is far more than just another app or tool, isn't it?
Oh, far more.
It's a driver of fundamental transformation across our most critical sectors: healthcare, education, the economy. It certainly offers immense potential for access, for productivity, for creativity.
Definitely, the upside is huge.
But it also introduces these profound ethical, social, and environmental challenges that, frankly, it feels like we are only just beginning to truly grasp.
I think that's right. Realizing the immense benefits while simultaneously minimizing the inherent risks, that's the tightrope we have to walk. And it will require truly coordinated efforts from every angle. Developers, educators, healthcare professionals, policymakers, researchers, everyone.
So it's about bringing things together.
Yeah, it's really about uniting technological innovation with thoughtful policy, with deep ethical reflection, and with genuinely inclusive design from the start.
So as you, our listener, go about your day and inevitably interact with more and more AI-powered systems, maybe consider this final thought. How much of the digital transformation happening all around us is truly about human augmentation, empowering us to do more, to be better, and how much might be about potential replacement, subtly reshaping not just what we do, but perhaps who we are actually becoming in this increasingly AI-mediated world?